Velvet on a crayfish? What's really growing there? This is a crayfish that looks like it's covered in velvet or cotton. At first glance, it might look harmless or even fascinating, but what if that fuzzy experience is actually telling us a story about water quality, microorganisms, and animal health? Today, we are going to uncover what's really behind this velvet-like growth in the red swamp crayfish Procambarus clarkii. In a previous observation, we noticed cotton-like patches on the crayfish, especially on the cephalothorax, the area where the head and thorax join. This kind of appearance in crustaceans is not random. It often signals the presence of microscopic organisms. To investigate further, samples were taken from the affected area and examined under the microscope. Some samples were stained with methylene blue, simply to improve visibility, not to alter the organisms themselves. A cottony appearance does not automatically mean disease. It can result from multiple biological agents, including protozoa, fungi, and microalgae. Before jumping to conclusions, it's important to rule out false alarms. Some structures that look like microorganisms are actually normal anatomical features. For example, parts of the crayfish antenna are covered with setae, tiny sensory hairs that help the animal detect its environment. Recognizing these structures is essential to avoid misdiagnosis. Among the organisms observed, we find cyanobacteria from the genus Anabaena. These organisms behave more like plants than parasites. They produce their own food through photosynthesis. In this case, Anabaena appears in low abundance, and its presence does not pose a threat to the crayfish. Cyanobacteria often decrease in abundance when crayfish are present due to the grazing and ecosystem balance. Next, we observe fungus belonging to the genus Fusarium. Under the microscope, we can identify conidiophores, which produce asexual spores, hyphae, filamentous structures that form the fungal network. Unlike Cyanobacterium, Fusarium is associated with disease, including cephalothorax burn syndrome, gill necrosis, tissue melanization, and cuticle erosion. This makes it latent risk, especially under stressful or poor water conditions. Rotifers are fascinating microscopic animals whose name means wheel bearers. They feed mainly on bacteria and organic particles. Importantly, they do not harm crayfish. They may actually improve water quality. So, despite being present, rotifers are not responsible for the velvet-like appearance. Now we arrive at the key organism. Epistylis is a sessile ciliated protozoan. It doesn't swim. It attaches itself to surfaces, including crayfish exoskeletons and gills. It forms branch colonies that look like tiny underwater forests. Epistylis is considered an ectocommensal, not a true parasite. However, heavy infestations can increase oxygen demand, interfere with gill function, reduce market value due to altered appearance. So, what's the diagnosis? The velvet or cotton-like appearance is primarily caused by the infestation of Epistylis. A concurrent Fusarium fungal infection was also detected, representing a potential future threat. This combination explains both the appearance and physiological risk to the crayfish. The presence of Epistylis is a warning sign. Actions: partial water changes, system cleaning, improved aeration and oxygen levels. Good water quality is the most effective control strategy. In controlled systems, antifungal strategies such as zinc oxide nanoparticles have shown strong inhibition of fungal growth. However, treated crayfish should not be consumed. Residue safety must be scientifically validated first. Is it safe to eat? This is a common and important question. Without a microscope, proper identification, laboratory confirmation, there is no reliable way to tell whether visible spots are harmless or risky. Therefore, crayfish with visible abnormal growth should not be consumed unless the cause is clearly identified. This case shows how something that looks simple, like fuzzy patch, can reveal complex interactions between organisms, water quality, and animal health. Understanding this relationship helps aquarists prevent losses, scientists improve diagnostics, consumers make safer choices, and most importantly, it reminds us that healthy animals start with healthy environments.